Good morning, garden friends. Welcome to Armstrong Acres. It is Monday morning, June 21st, I believe. First day of summer vacation, officially. And I'm thrilled to be able to come here first thing in the morning before it gets too hot. The sun's coming out. I got some chores done and figured it was time to do a video before the sun chased me inside. So what I want to do today is go row by row and go into a little more detail about what I'm growing. I've got all of the tomatoes labeled so I can talk to you about those varieties as well. So first row here, this is actually dwarf mulberry. It has never fruited for me. This is the 4th year that I've grown it. Maybe the 5th year. It died back up here, but it came back nicely. This one came back nicely as well. Again, never fruited for me. I've got some comfrey and some yarrow. I'm going for kind of a permaculture guild here. This, I thought I was going to have to tear out. It's the same thing, a dwarf mulberry, but it looks at the bottom like it's coming back from the roots. So I'm going to give it another chance. I did recently get some fig trees on clearance, and so one of those is going to go right in here. This is Mountain Mint, Pycnanthemum muticum. I wanted to establish a patch here because it's great for the pollinators and it's a great cut flower as well. So eventually I'd also like to try to get some borage in here. It reseeded itself readily up in the herb garden, but every time I tried to transplant babies, they wouldn't take. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the borage, but eventually I want to have some down here. This row over here, you guys, these are all Liatris, which is a nice, you can see this one's coming. They're going to be purple spiky flowers, great for cut flowers. I bought these from, I don't know, Walmart or Ocean State Job Lot, and every single one of them came up. Like, I would not have bought as many if I knew how well they were going to do. So these are perennials. They will hopefully be very happy here. I've got some marigolds that I kind of threw in. These are Eryngium or sea holly, and you can see something got to it. We have a resident bunny that is not as cute as he looks. So I suspect it was either him or the deer, but I haven't seen any other trace of deer, so it might be the bunny. More marigolds. The cosmos are coming in. I've been picking them for cut flowers, and you can see right there, it's a definite favorite of pollinators. And this is Victoria Blue Salvia. It's supposed to be taller and good for cut flowers, but also a perennial. So hopefully next year when it comes back, it'll come back bigger and better. Garlic here. I went through earlier this week and harvested the scapes. We've got this was the first nasturtium flower that came out this year. And some asparagus just holding here until I can establish a bed for it. And then also in here where some garlic didn't come up, I put some, I believe this is Scabiosa. Let me see if I have a tag. Yes, Black Knight Scabiosa. All right, this next row leaves much to be desired. I've got dill. I did plant some cilantro, which you can see is not doing very well, and then a whole bunch of weeds. Some snapdragons that I put in here, some rudbeckia that are getting crowded out by weeds, some nigella that had spotty germination and is getting crowded out by the clover. This is Orlea. very, very spotty germination. I'm going to have to do something better about that. I really want to grow Orlea, but not if it's going to look like this. This is Lambada, which is a type of Monarda for cut flowers, and some more snaps, which I weeded and got mulched. And you can see they're starting to come out. This row is sunflowers. They are all pro cuts, except for one little bitty section that I will talk to you about. I've already cut a couple of these. They were put in the garden, before our last frost in April. I think it was the last week of April, and they did spectacularly. So they are coming in. You can see they're forming heads nicely. And I need to come in. This is the perfect stage. Actually, it's a little late for picking, but you want to pick them before they open all the way and the buggies get a chance to eat them. So this sunflower is called Double Dandy, but it's a branching sunflower. And so I don't want to cut that one with a long stem because there are more buds on there. So far, not impressed with the Double Dandies. They are really, really short, and I'm not sure that I'm even going to be able to use them in cut flower bouquets. All right, see, this is a good stage to pick them. You can see the yellow, and the insects haven't gotten it yet. So I'm going to come through a little later today and pick those, maybe make a bouquet. More sunflowers planted later. This is a good experiment. This batch of sunflowers and this batch of sunflowers were started on the same day. They were transplanted into the garden on the same day. The difference is that these were under cover longer than those were. And so I actually already picked one of those yesterday. So the cover really helped, which was a good lesson to learn. The zinnias, you can see, that one's it's a little too early to be picking that one. I want some of these petals to unfurl, but they're coming, and I got them netted up today, so the next rainstorm we have won't flatten them. All right. Here are the first batch of tomatoes. So my wonderful husband pounded steaks the other day, and I got them pruned and tied up this morning. And so most of them I'm allowing 2 main leaders through no planning of my own. They just kind of went that way, and so I'm allowing it to happen, but I did prune off most of the other suckers. So let me tell you about the varieties that I am growing. This is, they're planted in somewhat alphabetical order, but this is the second row, so we're starting midway through the alphabet. This is Prudence Purple. And then we have Rosa de Bern. These are all indeterminates. Nebraska Wedding is a semi-indeterminate. I think I've read conflicting things, so I'm treating it like an indeterminate. We'll see if that's a mistake or not, but that's Nebraska Wedding. There's St. Pierre. Triple Crop, which I grew last year and was disappointed in. I only got like 1 or 2 tomatoes off the whole plant, but they were a favorite of my brother's in our family taste test, and M.I. Gardner and Jess at Roots and Refuge just rave about Triple Crop, so I'm giving it another chance. This is White Tomasol, which was free seeds from Baker Creek this year. Millennial Gardener just showed he's down in one of the Carolinas, and he said that his plants are very prolific. So I'm excited to try this one. I hope it's a good tomato. This one was supposed to be Ferris wheel, but it is not. So we'll find out what it is, maybe, when it starts putting on tomatoes. This is either Garden Treasure or Purple Russian. the cups got mixed up when I was labeling, so obviously it'll be easy to tell once it starts setting fruit whether it's a Garden Treasure or a Purple Russian, because they don't look much alike. This one is supposed to be from Old Sturbridge Village seed. It is a large red tomato, but it is definitely not. This thing, like, look at it. It's got 4 main leaders already. It's very bushy. There's no flowers on it, so I don't know what's going to happen. I may not get a thing from this, but I saw that it was different, and I knew I had to grow it out just to see what would happen. This is a Mountain Fresh Plus. I've heard good things about the Mountain series from some people. Some people say the flavor is not good. So I actually bought this and decided to try it for myself. So this was the only tomato I think that I bought for myself this year. All of the others I started from seed. This is a Nepal. Looking forward to that one. Heard good things about that one from Craig LaHoulier. And we've got some peppers here. I don't have a lot of peppers in this garden because my pepper row was taken over by dahlias. So most of my peppers are at another garden, which maybe I'll show you at some point. I usually struggle here with basil and peppers. I think it's the earwigs. You can see we have some leaf damage, but I did put down Sluggo Plus, and it seems to really be helping. I need to put down some more because we got some rain, a couple bouts of rain that I think did away with the pellets. So I need to put more of them down, but so far so good. Look at, these are all loaded, and I usually do not have luck. So those are Ace peppers that I bought this year, and these are Nadapeños, which I grew from seed. All right, this row I had to cover because I have some baby sunflowers in here, which Mr. Bunny has been chomping, which is a problem because the sunflowers that I'm growing are single cuts. Most of them, except for that double dandy I showed you, are not branching. And so if the bunny eats them, it is not going to come back. It is not going to recover. So I had to throw a cover over here just until they get big enough so that Mr. Bunny is not tempted. And then I have more zinnias here. I need to net them. That's what these posts are for. So, and then we have another row of shame, right? My cool flower rows are nothing to brag about, but these are Bells of Ireland that I direct seeded. As you can see, the germination was pretty spotty. I need to get in here and weed and mulch them so that they have half a chance. Direct seeded some dill, and this seems to be the only one that's doing anything. The bachelor's buttons, actually, I might get some, which is shocking. I've never had good luck with them before, but this is the blue variety. I'm thinking these are going to look fantastic in bouquets with sunflowers, so that's the plan with those. What is this? Yeah, great question. I have no idea what I planted here. Oh, here's a tag. Maybe it'll tell me. Nigella. Yep, there's no Nigella in here. This, which I can tell from that single flower, is caramel phlox, or cherry caramel phlox, which is supposed to be a great annual that everyone raves about. And you can see my germination was absolutely pathetic. The cress did really well until the rainstorm came in and blew it all down. I have one standing. So, these are kind of interesting in bouquets, so that's why I'm leaving them out. I also want to save some seed, but I do know that this becomes noxious weeds, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do to save the seeds, but not let it go crazy in the garden. Here we have some blue plurum. You can see some are almost getting ready. I see some little flowers on those. A volunteer sunflower and some snaps that I threw in where the blue plurum didn't germinate. Again, blue plurum was another cool flower I direct seeded, and I'm not real happy with the germination, so I've got to fix that for next year. All right, another row of tomatoes. This is a mortgage lifter. You can see here, Mr. Bunny got to it, but it is, it's got 2 liters coming in, so I'm leaving those and we'll see how it does. This is the large red tomato from the Sturbridge Village seeds, so that one's doing really well. They're actually all doing really well. I'm pretty pleased. This is a Garden Treasure. I got these seeds. These are proven winter seeds, but I made a donation to the breeding program at University of Florida, and they sent me Garden Treasure seeds. So that's another way to get those seeds if you're interested in them. Hungarian Heart, which is supposed to be a good canning sauce tomato. Italian Heirloom. Those seeds came from Fruition. I met Petra at the Hartford Garden Show last February before COVID hit, and she personally recommended the Italian Heirlooms, and I am happy to say that we're actually getting little babies. I think these are the first actual tomatoes that I have. Most of the plants have had blossoms, but I think these are the first fruit I've seen. Another Italian Heirloom. This is one of the only plants that I purposely planted 2 of. Last year I did 2 of everything and it was too much. So this year I'm only growing 1 of each for the most part. So Gilberti paste, Ferris wheel, Dr. Wychees, which was a favorite last year. I'm comparing Dr. Wychees to Nebraska Wedding this year. They're both yellow tomatoes. Last year I compared Dr. Wychees to Kellogg's Breakfast, and I really preferred Dr. Wychees. Here's a duster. And then for some reason these 3 are not thriving. This is a cardinal tomato. Yeah, right here you can hardly see it because of the weeds. Cardinal, and then we have Carbon. And then over here is Abe Lincoln. I tried to grow Abe Lincoln last year, and what resulted was obviously not Abe Lincoln. So if the same is true this year, then something is wrong with the seeds that I got, and I'll have to get them from a different source, because I've heard great things about Abe Lincoln and I really want him to do well. All right, over in this row, we have basil. All different kinds of basil. We have cardinal basil, we have purple ruffles basil, we have Mrs. Burns lemon basil, we have cinnamon basil, we have some more cardinal basil, and we have Tulsi holy basil. And then nothing, weeds. I need to get in here and clear this out so that I can start planting. Actually, it looks like I put some snaps in there. Oh, maybe there is stuff here. Look at that. There's some Coreopsis here and some crinkled cress over here. Oh yes, so I need to get in and weed this. And then some more peppers that I just stuck in. I don't even know what kind they are. And some sunflowers. You can see where Mr. Bunny got a hold of these guys, which doesn't make me happy. More garlic. I was swimming in scapes this week. And third row of tomatoes. All of these tomatoes are either dwarf or determinate, and so they that's why they're not staked. The ones, I'll explain the ones at the end that are staked in a minute. All right, so this one is doing really well. What is this? This is a Myona, I believe. This is a mystery dwarf. This is also a mystery dwarf. Some of these, you know, when I was potting them up, the cups didn't get labeled and they were mysteries, but they looked so healthy that I wanted to plant them. And so that's why they're in the garden. This is a volunteer tomato from last year. Sophie's Choice tomato. This is a mushroom basket tomato. That's a Homestead, which isn't doing real well, but I grew Homestead last year and really liked it, so I hope it does okay. These two are San Marzanos. I am growing the rest of these tomatoes, these 6 tomatoes, for a trial. So they're all paste tomatoes, and we're going to see who does what. But these 2 San Marzanos are definitely the littlest. Then there's 2 more Myonas and Amish paste. And these are indeterminate. They will climb and get big, and so that's why I stake them. I am not sure about the Myonas. I need to look it up, but I had Stephen put the stakes in just in case. All right, so this row, also a mess. We have dahlias, and I'm going to speed it up here because I'm getting my dead battery notice. We have dahlias, we have some peas, I have some cucumbers, and some zucchini that I needed to replant because of the bunny. Are you noticing a theme here? This is mostly green beans and peas that are covered because of the bunny. This was supposed to be my pepper row. Everything here are dahlias, and I just went through and pinched them today so that they would branch out and I would get more flowers. The snaps are coming in. Let me zoom in and you can see they are starting, so I'm excited. This whole row is going to be snapdragons. Some more dwarf tomatoes here in cages. The lettuce is just going crazy, again covered because of the bunny. And perennials. The yellow yarrow is looking good. The irises have gone by, but the lilies are coming in. So I'm excited to see what happens here. So before my battery dies, I am going to sign off. Wish you happy gardening, and I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back and see us next time from Zone 6 in South Central Massachusetts. Bye, everyone.